Is Hot Girl Summer still happening this year?
How many carbs are in a White Claw?
If I squat every day, will I get a dump truck?
I'm Shay.
I'm Leah.
We are Two-Tone Training.
You're listening to Don't Tone Alone.
Wicked pissa kid.
I realize I can't do any accents. You guys know this.
Wicked, get the car. I need you
Park
to
the car and
park it.
That's all I can do.
The car keys.
People are always like, where are you located?
I think kid. It's wicked and it's kid. But speaking of wicked,
I feel like you have to do the whole spiel in the accent.
speaking of wicked, do wicked good.
I can't take myself seriously. So Do Wicked Good is a New England born brand, and it is partnering with Spread the Joy Foundation. So what this foundation does, it has a mission to provide every pediatric patient with a joy box.
Pediatric patient
With a joy box. So in this joy box, there's coloring, there's arts and crafts, there's games, just to make, being in the hospital just a little bit more bearable, kind of take their mind off things, give them some joy. So Shay and I will be participating on Team Influencers September 10th. And we're going to be creating these joy boxes. So I don't know, something cool about actually having your hands on what you're doing.
We're stuffing like a million boxes, so like I've only been doing upper body
a million
so that I can like quickly
in the assembly line,
curls. All I know is like I'm not going to be the one holding up the team in the assembly line. Like we're getting this done, and I'm really, really excited. I think
so excited.
There's so many cool people who are going to be involved in this, and I think it's just such a cool way to bring the Boston community together, and especially for just an amazing purpose.
Right. So Kevin Cooney is going to be there. Ash D'Amato is going to be there. They're like our team captains. I'm like, Capitan. Do you need like a letter jacket?
They do. I'm like,
I feel like they need like a letter jacket and like a stitched C on there.
What are we?
We're just
the support.
We're
squad.
the bench warmers, honestly.
Okay.
The Two-Tone Training bench warmers. But if you want to donate to this amazing cause for these joy boxes, Shay and I will be posting something on our Instagram story for ways to donate. So look out for that.
Boom.
So,
I mean, I think a perfect transition is like we talk about like
if you do say so yourself.
If I do say so myself, today we're talking about 360-degree wellness and what that means is. So honestly, we did some research before this podcast and just talking about just what wellness means and especially how it's transitioned in 2022 and especially after COVID. But I think based on what these articles are saying, like even stuffing,
based on my research,
even stuffing these boxes would be wellness.
Right. Yeah, no, I think this year, especially like you said, with COVID happening, people are really focusing on not just the physical aspect of wellness, but the mental aspect and how you got to get both working in tandem, if you will.
True. Just doing things that make you feel good. Speaking of, last night, Leah and I went to go play pickleball. And if you guys are in the Boston area and looking for just like
a great time,
I think you don't, especially Leah and I are always looking to do an activity outside of just going
fitness,
for a drink,
right?
Or just,
I
was like just drinking. Leah's like just fitness.
Just fitness. Okay.
But either or, yeah.
Sometimes we're on the same page, or sometimes we just totally missing each other.
Yes. But if you guys haven't been, PKL in Boston, it was just so much fun. We were playing, I was about to say racquetball, but I was like, Leah, do I wear the goggles? And she was like, you can wear goggles.
Yeah, it's like, honestly, I think you have to wear goggles.
I was ready for it. I was like, I feel like I can make those chic.
I love watching Shay play sports. Like, it's my favorite thing.
I was a dancer, and just for some reason, like I have body awareness, but no hand-eye
right. And like the funny part about you is like whenever you go towards like the sport objects, so like the ball or like the wiffle ball or whatever, you have this like almost this wince in your face, like you're like scared of it, and like.
But I think it's from my childhood and like
you must have got hit in the face.
Do you not remember? Like I had every broken bone possible. Like I think that's why my thumbs are different sizes, my ankles are different sizes.
Yeah,
it was just such a scarring experience. We went camping, remember, with our family friends.
And our family friend hit a wiffle ball. Shay like went up to go catch it, and she broke her finger. And I was like, honestly, you're dramatic.
Who breaks a bone playing wiffle ball?
You do.
And then I broke an ankle going sledding with my dad. We were like going down the hill, and then I tried to like put my foot out to like stop us, and
you're a mess.
That's the worst thing you could ever do. And like dad, this like 200+ pound man, then rolled onto my ankle, and I was like, "This is it."
Not cute for anyone.
Have you broken a bone?
I had like a couple really bad ankle sprains in college basketball, but nothing too traumatic. Knock on wood.
Wow, I
don't
feel like I've had so many
know.
experiences, but honestly, maybe that I've incorporated more calcium into my diet. I haven't had quite as many
Mad
injuries.
brittle bones.
I'm honestly just very delicate. But the last thing that I remember is I was teaching a group fitness class, and this is just like when adrenaline kicks in, right?
Yeah.
You're in the like I am just like I don't know, in front of a crowd, I'm just like, the show must go on. And like, this is just concrete proof that exists, right?
Yeah, that you live by that.
Teaching the warm up, not even the workout, the
Okay.
freaking warm up.
And
And
you
we're
roll
like
your
doing
ankle,
jumping
right?
jacks. And I just landed on my foot wrong. And I definitely was like, shit. Like, I just could feel it, like something went wrong.
Right.
And I'm just like hobbling through the rest of these jumping jacks. Like, I don't think anyone else really, I think they were like, oh, like they like saw that it hurt. And then like, I just kept going. So they were like, okay, like, wow, she must be fine. As soon as class ended and the music like stopped, like
The adrenaline comes down.
I like crawled my way to the stereo to like turn down the music. And I was like, this is it.
I think
couldn't get to my car.
adrenaline and alcohol have like a similar effect when both are going. You just can't feel anything.
Oh, that's so true.
But wait, so I just said that I haven't gotten really badly injured, but let me bring your attention to hockey puck gate.
Oh, I feel like
Guys.
I haven't talked about that on the podcast.
Oh my God. So senior year of high school, I am sitting in the crowd at a hockey game. You know, like every time like you're at a high school game, you just are like trying to be your best self. You're like flipping your hair and you're trying to look good and whatever. You're like,
Leah's got her apple bottom jeans on. She's ready to rock.
boots with the and I'm sitting there, I'm texting, and all of a sudden I see this black object in front of my face, and I'm like, that's not good. Not good at all. Moments later, I am like coming out of like a blackout blur because a hockey puck literally bounced off my skull, fractured my skull. I got a hairline fracture.
And they won the game.
And they won the game. I didn't care. I was like, that's rude. I hope you lose. It was my own team. He was clearing the puck, hit my head, bounced off my head, fractured my skull, hit this girl behind me, fractured her cheekbone, which like shows you how fast the puck was going to. I got a dome piece, and that stopped some of that velocity. And it still broke her cheekbone. So I had a huge egghead. She had a huge cheek. And we were just, I mean, I knew
Do you
the
have
girl.
that picture somewhere? I feel like it
It's
has
somewhere
to
in the
exist.
archives, and it's deep. It's deep down under. But yeah, so that was traumatic.
Well, I think the funniest part about that too was like after, like, you know how like no one, like especially like at any facility, they want nothing to do with it. So like management comes out after and they're like, well, she should have been texting during the game. And they're like,
right.
no, like why wasn't there like
The
some kind of
craziest
net?
part was that there was no net. So now, if you go back to that arena, you will see a net, and it does say, pay attention for flying pucks. And that's because of me. So I will go back and I will sign it, give my autograph, and call it a day.
Yeah, you saved hopefully a lot of like possible injuries. That
Yeah,
could have
honestly,
occurred.
if I'd do it again, I would take the puck to the head just to save others.
No,
You're
well,
welcome.
Yep.
But speaking of sports pickleball, I think something that we learned in our research was that people are starting to become more accustomed to the idea of doing fitness that isn't just going to the gym. So like you said, playing sports, doing pickleball, we saw like weighted hula hoops.
Yeah. Do you think that counts like a weighted hula hoop?
I think whatever gets you moving.
I feel like I've seen some like really crazy like contraptions. A weighted hula hoop definitely being one. I'm even trying to think.
A weighted jump rope even.
Weighted jump rope. I'm behind that.
Yeah.
I'm horrible at jump rope. Again, I think
Right.
it's a little bit
Zumba,
hand-eye.
I feel like there's an argument like, is Zumba really a workout?
Well, they were saying that ClassPass for the first time ever saw dance in the top 10 of just like most registered for or like most attended classes for the year.
let me tell you, it ain't me. Two left feet over here.
Yeah, Leah and dancing, not so much. They were also saying like TikTok dances, people are using that as just like a way to just get moving.
Exactly. I mean, I think no one should be shamed for moving their body in the way that they choose to. So like these TikTok challenges, like
I don't know, some of the dances I've seen, I'm just like, no, you should move your body. Like,
please stop moving your body immediately now. Immediately now. But the 12-3-30 challenge came from TikTok.
okay, yeah. So tell people what the 12-3-30 challenge is.
Okay, let me break it down for you toners. Okay?
If you don't have TikTok,
If you don't have
if
TikTok,
you don't know, now you know.
you and the accent.
Yeah, like what is that?
Quiet down over there. All right. So 12-3-30 was, so you have your incline on 12%, you have your speed on 3, and you walk for 30 minutes. So it's
funny. For some reason, I thought it was 20 minutes because I'm dying after 20. I don't know how anyone does this for
I remember,
30.
yeah. I remember my friend Allie introduced it to me for the first time. She's like, you haven't seen the TikTok? I'm like, what? And yeah, this low intensity, steady state cardio. I was like, something behind it. And honestly, it kicks your butt.
All right, so we're gonna do a little poll on our Instagram and make everyone go do this. And
Yeah,
then you can report back. Honestly, your glutes are on fire, right? That you're like on
and you're out of breath.
Incline, right? You're out of breath. It's wild. I always love doing it before a workout because I don't know. I'm
gets
someone
your blood
who needs
flowing.
to
Yeah,
have, like my heart rate already up before I go and lift heavy.
I'm the same. Like nice and sweaty, glistening, shimmering, if you will.
If I'm not like out of breath and about to pass away, like I didn't work out. So for someone with a weighted hula hoop, like I don't know. I'm gonna have to test it out if I'd actually get breathless.
Yeah.
But I think another thing that I love that I've seen on TikTok is a lot of people doing like the challenges, and shout out to the real ABBP.
Yes, challenge queen.
She is like the challenge queen. She does all, and she's like built her following off of that, right? She does like these 2 or 3 pound weights, and then she'll also do body weight, and you literally follow along with her for 2 minutes, and like she doesn't drop her arms, and she's doing this like crazy upper body workout. And I think people just love it because it's short, it's sweet, sweaty, and you feel like you did something in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are still intimidated by the gym, and they're intimidated to be in front of other people. So what an amazing tool, TikTok. You put it on in the comfort of your own home and do these challenges, and you feel like you did something, and you did.
Yeah, no, I think the intimidation is a factor, but I also was seeing, and I also feel it, that people are craving that sort of just like community and relationship. So I do feel like group fitness, people are like, during the pandemic, people are like, will group fitness kind of like make a comeback? Will it ever come back to the same capacity?
Right, or will people just be virtual for the rest?
Or will you be afraid of like making those relationships and standing 5 feet away from or 2 feet away from 2 inches away from someone in some of these crowded classes?
Right. But I think what we've seen is that people they need the in-person stuff.
Yeah, this past weekend I was in New York, and it was really amazing. Shout out to Artsy. Unfortunately, I couldn't come, but she missed out. I got a killer Lululemon outfit. Let me tell you.
Of course, yeah. And she's sending me all the photos.
Yeah. Like, check this out. I got to try out some of Lululemon's new shoes, the Charge Feel shoes. They were so swaggy, so cool. I need a pair. And we did this workout in this like LED room. So it was like very two-toned-esque. Mm-hmm. But one thing I will say is that like we were basically on top of one another. Like it was a fairly small space, but like people are obsessed with Or. Like people would do anything for Or. They're like, I'll piggyback on top of the person in front of me just so that I can be in Or's presence. And I feel the same way.
Same.
But it just kind of proved that like it didn't even matter because people were so excited to be doing something together, to feel like they're part of an event, part of a community. And then it was really cool because after the event, we then all went out to brunch. And like, I'm like looking at the clock after a while. Like I just got so lost in the sauce. And I was like, this was like the longest brunch of my life.
Didn't you say it was like 5 hours?
It was like a 5-hour brunch. And it was so cool because the people that I was just like inserted in the group. Yeah. But these people sign up for all of their group fitness classes together. Like they've become friends because of Or and because of Equinox. Like they're like, oh, they literally text in their group chat. They're like, what class are you taking tomorrow? And we know we like this instructor. And they're all people that are over, I would say most of them were over like 33. So
really?
It was this cool, just like New York scene that I don't know if you see it quite as much in Boston, but like it was like 33 to like 45. And these people that some of them were in relationships and some of them like did go to these classes with their significant other, but it just showed you that like, I don't know, especially in the city life, that you can still make friends and still find community no matter kind of what age. And fitness is such a cool way to do that.
I know. I wish we saw more of that in Boston. And I think that's something that we're trying to do with our events. Like it's not just a workout. It's a workout plus like a gathering after.
Yeah, I think we learned this the hard way too, is that we would like post a workout class that was like in the middle of the field, and
Like there was nothing to do after.
right, and it just kind of flopped. Like we had our mom come and like our dedicated people that knew that they would receive mean texts from us after if they didn't show up.
Yeah.
But we just started to realize that
It needs to be
an experience,
a class plus something to make it a full experience and give people the opportunity to. No one's really going to talk during class. They better not, or I'll give them a dirty look.
No, but I think one thing that people who are really like leaders in the space is they really force each other during class to talk to someone else. Like,
Right.
I mean, we've all, especially fitness instructors who are listening to this, you've taught a class that no one wants to talk. You're like, are we ready? And it's like freaking
Partner up, find someone new.
or
They're
it's
like,
crickets.
no.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crickets. And they're like, don't you dare.
Right.
But you have to almost like force it out of them, because that's the reason you have to be like, they came to my class and this is how we're going to do it.
There was someone that talked about like being uncomfortable. Like you as a fitness instructor, you have to be okay with like standing up there and feeling super uncomfortable for the sake of the participants in your class feeling comfortable.
Right. I did a game the other day in one of my classes, and I like went around and like it was like categories, or if anyone's played categories,
Yeah.
it'd be like, okay, like ice cream flavors. And then it'd go around to each treadmill and be like, okay, like give me an ice cream flavor. And like, I could tell one girl was just like not having it, but I was like, no, like I stood in front of her treadmill and she gave me an answer.
Mint chip.
Yeah.
Like, Rocky Road. I'll give you some options.
Right. just say something and pretend you're having a good time.
Yeah. I don't know how people would feel about doing like some of our intense workouts and us asking them questions during it, but
Yeah, I don't know. But I think one thing that a lot of people can take away from just any kind of group fitness class is that using it as a way to release endorphins and to de-stress. And I think that's been a big theme of fitness about 360-degree wellness, is people just looking for this outlet to de-stress. Another big trend that came out of 2020 and I
Yeah.
think onwards is
Yeah.
like CBD and oils. And I don't know, what do you feel, is it fact or fiction when it comes to kind of CBD products?
I haven't dove super deep into the CBD oils, but I do know people that use it and love it. And I think there is something to be said about being in a relaxed state of mind and a good state of mind. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's funny. The other day, Bulletproof, shout out, sent us all these like gummies, and there was like a gummy for like
Yeah.
sleep, and then like a gummy for like your vitamin C, and then there's a stress gummy. And like lately, over the past few weeks, your girl's been going through something, and like I
Yeah.
feel like I've just been like a little extra stress, and like
You like OD'd on stress gummies.
OD'd on stress gummies, and let me tell you, I was feeling myself. I was feeling some
Because there was
type of way.
CBD in it.
Yeah, I was just like mellowed the fuck out. And like, yeah, I'm not someone who really even like uses CBD products. Besides, actually, I use this feel good lotion, and it's like CBD infused.
Right.
And let me tell you, like, especially someone who is fairly active, like when I put that on my back, and someone who deals with
Yeah.
like shoulder issues, like there is something to be said.
Well, I
for-
think at any age too, like I have a bunch of personal training clients that just tell me like, oh, my back hurts, my neck, my whatever. And you're starting to see that at people around our age, like in their 20s, you're starting to really feel aging. So I think CBD does help with that. And I think that's something that scares people away. Oh, I don't want to do that workout because I don't want my body to feel like crap after. So if those CBD oils are going to get you to do a fitness class, then by all means.
Yeah, I mean, another trend too is talking about that impact on your body. It's low impact workouts. I think before people were so like, low impact.
Yeah.
And I think people automatically assume that, oh, that means low intensity, but that is so
far from the truth.
Not the case. I've done so many low impact workouts where you're not necessarily jumping around, hurting your joints, but you are going to be breathless after because of the intensity that you bring to the workout.
Yeah, no, I mean, something I hate in the fitness space is when people bash other things. I mean, obviously there's some things that are just straight up wrong, but the people that are like, Zumba's not a real workout, low intensity, like whatever, like, they're moving their body and they feel good doing it. So why are you going to make someone feel bad about that?
Right.
Fires me up.
Fires me. It really gets me going.
Yeah. And I think like a good way to gauge to like your recovery and whatever are these fitness trackers. And I know for me personally, like I took my Whoop off, but now I do have the Apple Watch because the sleep was really what was messing with me.
Yeah, it's interesting how much they're just like being integrated into society and like into our lives. Like we rely so much on like stats now, and almost like anything you do in life can be measured.
Yeah.
And I also saw that like now even like the military is using them for people like versus like, okay, like you're going to boot camp, you're going to training and like that's how we're going to see your performance. No, we're tracking your performance throughout the year. We're seeing how you sleep, how you recover, how you train.
That's so wild. I've even heard of like sports teams doing it to find out like if who's ready for the bench. Like if your recovery is like 97 versus someone who's in like 72, like, okay, you're going to choose that higher recovery player to put them in the game. Like that is so crazy to me.
It's wild. And I go in such like ebbs and flows with my Whoop. Like sometimes like some weeks I'll like look at it every single day and I'll know exactly like how I trained and I'll become so obsessed with the stats. And then I'll have weeks where I don't even like open the app and like look at what I did. And I don't know. I think that is somewhat of a healthy relationship with the trackable.
I agree. It's just like tracking food. It's like you can do it for spurts and then kind of wean off of it because now you have the knowledge from those weeks that you had it on. Okay, I know this is how I feel when I get that 7.5 hours of sleep. This is how I feel when I get 5. And you're able to take that knowledge and move forward. And I just think, I don't know, life's too short to just be so obsessed with the numbers. And, you know, maybe I'll have a different opinion in a month, but that's how I feel right now.
Agreed. I've been interested to try the Garmin watch. I really have seen just like really cool things and especially now that we have a run club, I feel like I got to get my running up, my cardio up and check.
Slide into our DMs with some suggestions.
Another thing that I think will be interesting is when these articles are writing about just like sexual therapy too, and like having that be like a release and a de-stressor, and it's part of that 360 degree.
And I think it's so
wellness.
taboo is talking about masturbation, talking about sex, talking about how that does play into.
Leah's like, I can look at her face, she's like blushing so hard.
I'm red now. But like it is all a part of your wellness. Like your wellness does not just mean going to the gym. It's
taking care of yourself.
About sex, baby.
Right. No, it's taking care of yourself in all aspects of your life. It's your nutrition. It is like
I want to have a sex doctor on here and just like talk about like the
things you can do. Well, it also was saying that like next year we're gonna be like almost like shook by just like the sex toys that are coming out. I'm like, I can only imagine the contraptions that we're gonna see.
Oh my god, I'm gonna come home to like a swing.
Yeah, like do you feel like you're adventurous with that stuff, or like does that like almost like freak you out?
I don't know. I think you have to build like a certain level of comfort. I remember one of my friends was talking about how there was this guy that she hooked up with recently and she was pissed off because he just like wasn't aggressive enough. I'm like, this was your first time hooking up.
Yeah.
Like I would have been scared for you if this guy was coming out with
like choking you and like putting you on a sex swing, like right?
And like tying you up.
But I think that says so much for like compatibility too. Like I think you can quickly tell like if you're compatible with someone in that nature, and that's a huge thing. Like I've just been seeing so much that like love is not enough. Like you have to be having those conversations about any relationship, but like especially a romantic one, when it comes to the way you think about money, the way you think about your lifestyle, the way you think about sex, and like what those expectations are in a relationship. Because so many times you see the divorce rate going up, right? Because people get into these relationships and then
they're so like, blinded that they don't talk about the important topics. Right. They're so blinded by love that they're like, I'd rather not, you know. And then I feel like I've told I'm great at giving relationship advice. I think we can all agree that we're so good at giving advice and then not always the best at taking it. But like what I said was like, before you form that emotional connection is when you want to ask those hard-hitting questions, because if you wait until that emotional connection is already formed, then you're already going to be jaded. You're already going to make excuses for the person. Well, I know they don't agree with me on money, or the way we should spend money, but I like him so much and like I'm okay with that. And then you start changing your mind on those non-negotiables.
Right. And
that's when you run into trouble.
Right. I think there's something to be said for compromise, but then I think there comes a point in any kind of relationship where you're like, wait, I'm making so many sacrifices. Like, I don't even know who I am in those things that I said I would never do in a relationship. Like, here I am. Like, now that I take a step back, I'm like, wow, this is what I'm doing.
Right. So I don't know. I'm curious to know, like, are you someone that is, to our listeners and to you, like, can you be someone that's comfortable? Maybe not the first date, because I do think like the first date, you're kind of reading the vibes, but second and third date, would you be confident enough to ask those harder hitting questions? Maybe not in like a creepy, and do you want 8 kids, or, you know, I don't know. I feel like there's a way to go about it.
Yeah. And I mean, top of my list is making sure that we have similar lifestyles. I think I've like neglected that in like other relationships. And now like, just like in more of my recent relationships is just making sure that like we are compatible in just like enjoying the same things. And
Right.
like I love being active, so it's really important that my partner is also like active as well. And it shows even like now that I was reading again back to the articles is that like commuting is a cardio, right? So like
Right.
someone who would like totally be like, yes, that sounds like an awesome idea, taking a bike to work, or like let's do this, or like let's go hiking for our date.
Right. And do you think that's enough? So if you align on the fitness and if you align on the nutrition, do you think that's enough, or do you think there's other pillars of your lifestyle that need to align? Like socially, I feel like is a big thing too.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's enough. I think it's a big pillar, and what I've decided is now a non-negotiable. But I do think there are other things that kind of play into the secret formula, if you will.
If you will.
And everyone's formula is different.
Yeah. Now that we're back to work, yeah, I'm curious. Are people walking to work? Are they biking to work? Because a lot of times people say that I don't have time to work out. But if you implement it in your commute,
In your routine, right?
in your routine, then you have time.
Right. And I think that's why we launched the 22-minute tone, so that people could do it like in the middle of their workday. And when I was talking to other instructors pre-COVID, that used to be the most popular time slot, especially like in your big like urban cities, is that these people like working these corporate jobs at 12 o'clock, like they came into work 45 minutes in and out. And I think it's a little bit easier for guys, right? Because they don't need to do the whole shower after and reapply your makeup. And
Right.
like such a good idea in theory, but maybe like a leisurely bike ride to work and giving yourself plenty of time to do so is a great way to kind of get your mileage in.
Yeah, get your mileage in and get your mind right.
The one thing I'll say is I got City Bike when I was living in New York for one summer, and it was like hard to like kind of gauge the weather, and also biking in New York can be very, very scary. And also I was working a very corporate job, so like the days I'd wear dresses, I was like, oh, like, how is this gonna work? I learned to wear like the biker shorts underneath the dress.
But not a show for the city.
You're welcome, New York City.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Follow me at Shay Dowdy.
Here is my punani. Okay,
Yeah.
moving on.
Oh my God.
But yeah,
And now it's like the cardio from the kitchen to the couch.
but yeah, so getting your mileage in and getting your mind right. I think meditation and journaling is such a big like. Again, one of my best friends for my birthday gave me a journal. I don't even think I told you about that. And
I
they
think I saw it, the 5-minute journal, and then I was like, I wonder what she writes in there. Bitch better not be writing mean things about me.
and Shay didn't put the dishes away yet again.
I guarantee you that if we open the page, that's what I would say.
No, but I think it's cool because a while back I had bought a journal and it was a blank journal. And I think one time I wrote in it, and that was the only time, because I was like, I don't know what to write about. Like, I don't know what to say in here. And
Right, you have so many thoughts, but then like you get down with like your pen and your paper,
And
and,
you're
then
like,
you're like, again, it's crickets.
it's like
And
the
now what?
SpongeBob, the time. I don't know. I had the scene in SpongeBob in my head, but not relevant. Anyways, so these prompts are like, what are you grateful for today? And it can be big or small. Like, I am grateful that I have this iced coffee here today.
You're
Because
welcome. So that should definitely go in your journal because I made it for you.
yeah. And therefore, I'm grateful for Shay. So it can be big or small. What are you grateful for? You know, maybe what's one goal by the end of the day? What do you want to accomplish by the end of the day? Again, big or small. So I think those
And I'm
prompts.
getting emotional thinking about this because I met this girl this weekend who was just like so inspirational. She's like dealing with like pretty severe cancer, and she was just saying like, I've had to totally change my mindset and just like appreciate the little wins, like take note. Like sometimes you just take so many things for granted, and she's like, when the subway comes on time, and like win.
Wow.
Like when I don't get stuck in the rain and I just get home, win. Like, and I think if we all took that mindset and just look at the things that we win, we wouldn't be so focused on the few times that maybe it is a loss, and you just kind of like cut your losses because you're so overwhelmed by the small wins that have added up.
I love that. I think there's a quote that says like, why don't you focus on all the things that have gone right rather than obsessing over the things that have gone wrong? And I think as humans, we do that. We always, you ask someone, how's your day? What's new? Well, this happened and I was late for work and whatever. We never are like, honestly, my day's good because I woke up this morning and I was able to get out of bed and I was able to move my body. And honestly, it brings me back to like the joy boxes, and like these kids are suffering and these little boxes are what's getting them through their day. And if we can be a part of that in any way, then that's a win for us.
Just also remembering like the energy you put out is the energy that you're going to get back, right? Like if you're that person who's always like talking about, oh, my day's stressful or I'm so upset or whatever, like that's kind of the energy you're going to get back, right? We've all been that in that relationship with the friend that's complaining. So like you're going to feed into it and you're going to be like, oh, you're right. Like, no, me too. But like if you're around that person who's like the positive Patterson, you're going to start thinking that way too. And then that's the energy you're going to attract.
Right. Yeah. Even being like the gossiper of the group. Like if you're gossiping, if you're talking bad about others, then that's what you're known for. That's what people are going to go to you for. They're going to gossip to you, and that's just going to feed into that. If you surround yourself with positive people that do appreciate the little things, then the ball just keeps rolling.
Keep the ball rolling. I loved this podcast. I think it was just like so many people can take so many things away from it. What does wellness mean to you?
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily need to mean doing a 300-pound squat or
doing
like
80 burpees or whatever. What fuels your mental and physical self? What does that mean for you?
We're going to wrap it up with a little bit of a game we like to call 5-second rule. So I wrote a few terms down. Leah, you're going to say the first two things that come to mind. These are things having to do kind of 360-degree wellness. So we want to hear the word vomit.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, 5-second rule. Dance.
Zumba, DDR.
Oh, DDR. Throwback.
Throwback.
I used to be the queen, so your girl can't play pickleball, but DDR, I got you. CBD.
Oil, gummies.
Wellness.
Meditation and yoga. I don't know why.
This girl's like literally never done yoga.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I've done yoga like 3 times, but I should do it more.
Been in downward dog once.
Literally one time.
All right, Leah, what are my terms?
All right. Relax.
CBD, stress gummies.
OD on the stress gummies. Movement.
Dance and running.
Self-care.
Spa day, and I'm just picturing cucumbers on my ass. I don't know.
Connection.
Group fitness and relationships.
All right. the fear in your eyes, relationships. Did I get a point for that? All right, that was fun. 5-second rule. There's actually like a legit game out there. It's like 5-second rule, and
yeah, the questions are usually a little bit harder, right? Like,
yeah.
I remember like playing with my friends and be like things that are wet, and we were like, water.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. Well, hopefully y'all enjoy. At the end of the podcast, I just turned into a Southern belle. Hopefully you toners enjoyed this podcast, enjoyed our tidbits on 360 wellness and kind of what it means to us. Hopefully you donate to Spread the Joy Foundation. We would very much appreciate that. Shay, any last words?
Keep an eye out for August events. We have some really cool things on the calendar outside of just our standard summer series of Run Club and Tall Ship. So keep an eye out on our Instagram page. We'll be posting links for the donations, for sign up for classes, for tickets. So all the things, some really good things to kind of wrap up this 100-degree hot ass summer.
I'm schwitzing. All right, toners, you can tone from home.
You can tone from your phone.
But all we ask is that you don't tone alone. Bye, guys.